Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley with your News in Motion. Today is Thursday, September the 3rd, 2020. So let's get started. First off, I learned on yesterday the different news sources. I believe this actually happened on Monday, but for some reason I'm just seeing it as of yesterday. We have another fatality with an African-American male. His name is Dijon, and he is was age 29. He was age 29 in Los Angeles. Currently, Los Angeles is in a state of more protest because of this. He was fatally shot, to my understanding, looking at CNN, Politico, MSNBC, and other sources. This was in Los Angeles. He was on a bicycle, to my understanding, and then as he took off running, he dropped a handgun out of his clothes or whatever. He wasn't pointing the gun. He wasn't carrying the gun. I think that news is still unfolding. But again, I think about a 17-year-old who murdered 2 people, harmed several others, walked past police, and then we have this young man, age 29, not even carrying or pointing a gun, was fatally shot several times. Good morning, Deborah Johnson. So y'all, we just have to keep praying. We have to keep praying. And already I'm seeing things like people saying, well, he shouldn't have been running. Well, I think today black men are like seeing the police and saying, let me get out of here. Right or wrong, that could just be an instinct to go into saying, I just want to save my life, and they end up losing their life. So with that, please look up that resource yourself. His name is Dijon. I can't think of his last name, but age 29 in Los Angeles. Hello, I see your names coming in here. Hello, good morning, Beverly. Praying for your parents as you asked us to lift their names. So next up, I just want to say what? If you were following the news yesterday, the occupant of the Oval arrived into North Carolina yesterday asking his supporters to commit voter fraud, pretty much. This was his direct quote. So let them send it in and let them go vote. And if their system's as good as they say it is, yeah, this is a direct quote. The obviously, I think that should say then obviously, they won't be able to vote. If it isn't tabulated, they'll be able to vote. So that's the way it is. And that's what they should do, he said. Again, that's a direct quote. I'm trying to read what was printed. That's what he said. So let me be very clear. It is illegal. It is illegal to vote more than once. It is illegal. So read your absentee information. If you received one in the mail or you picked up one, read it. Because some states say if you turn it in, then that's the way you have to vote. Other states say that you can turn it in but choose to vote in person. Just read it. Make sure you're following the rules of your Secretary of State's office. It is important that you follow the rules. You want to be counted in the vote this coming November, okay? It is illegal to vote twice. You can only vote once. So even with that spin, it's like, what is he putting out there, y'all? This is where we need to communicate with our base, letting them know the truth. Some people will hear that information and run with it. The U.S. won't join WHO, that's the World Health Organization, global effort to develop a vaccine. There are more than 170 nations are considering participating in the global COVID-19 vaccine alliance, COVAX. Which plans to coordinate vaccine development and ensure all countries have a speedy access with priority for high-risk people first. Good morning, Kim Hill. But the occupant of the Oval and his administration says they're not interested. Come on. What is happening here, y'all? What is happening? This is why it's so important that we become mobilized and organized and make sure we're educating people as to the truth and what's needed and how it's done. That's why I've spent this entire week giving you the different sections, the different parts and pieces of this politically savvy, that I believe that will work. Good morning, Marion. Good morning. So, y'all, pretty much this is as seen in Politico as well as CNBC. The U.S., both of them have this quote: "The U.S. is gambling that it'll create a vaccine on its own first." We don't need to be recognized as the first. We need a vaccine that works. So again, the U.S. has declined the global effort to join the World Health Organization in developing a vaccine that works. So there's that. So let me give you the coronavirus numbers. Again, I go to the World Health Organization for the numbers. I bypass the CDC. There are 6,290,737 cases in the U.S. There are 189,964 deaths. There are 3,547,032 that have recovered. So let's celebrate the recovery of those who had coronavirus, and now they're on to the path of healing, and we're going to pray their complete healing. Next up, won't they evict you? Well, we don't know. In a bid to contain both the coronavirus and its economic fallout, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has temporarily banned residential evictions of anyone earning less than $100,000 a year. There are many different pieces of information out there, so I want to share that with you. There are many different pieces of information. Some are saying that it's just for federal housing only. Others are saying it depends upon the landlord, and yet there's still others saying that this is a memorandum that has not even gone through Congress yet. So we have to pay attention. Meanwhile, change your diet. Thank you, Beverly. Y'all need to follow her YouTube. Beverly, if you can put your YouTube on the thread as well, because y'all, we do have to be healthy. And I'm going to give you some more information on that in a moment. But y'all, listen. If you are in a situation, I guess you also have to sign some sort of papers about it. So look that up. If you are in that situation, or if you know anyone who may be in that situation, please help them look up what's needed, what papers need to be signed, and also understand that. Because the more I read this, it is as if they sign these papers, by the end of the year, when you cross over into the next year, all the past money is due. If you can't pay it now, there's no way you can pay all the past due money the first part of the year. So please read the fine print. Y'all, we got to get beyond the headlines. There's more information than the headlines. Make sure we have to condition ourselves to read the entire information and not just go by a soundbite and not just a headline. So y'all, we got to just condition ourselves to do that. All right, with that being said, let me go through part 4 of Politically Savvy. And some of you were asking questions from yesterday's part about telling your story. And several people from different churches and ministries says, well, can we use this piece for evangelism? Absolutely. When you're telling your story, you can use it for discipleship. You can use it for evangelism. You can always, even with News in Motion, I give an inspirational message on purpose. I do it intentionally. So yes, you can use the telling your story piece for evangelism, for discipleship, to go out and share the gospel of Jesus Christ. Absolutely. So part 4, I'm talking about the movements and what's happening with the movements. Thank you, Beverly, for putting your link up there. Talking about the movements. So the first part is that we have to prioritize our impact. We just have to prioritize our impact. Okay, so again, under number 1 of part 4, be careful of burnout. You've been hearing me talk about it. Self-care, 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 self-care. There are times you just have to turn off the news. You have to turn off the noise. You have to go back and look at your plan. Make sure you're following your plan, and then self-care. Whatever that looks like for you, self-care is important. The second part under number 1, again, as prioritizing your impact, is to focus on one issue at a time. You've heard me say this now for 12 weeks. One issue at a time. I think right now, many of us are really just focused on getting people registered to vote. Come a few weeks, we're going to just transfer all the way to now we got to get them to go vote. Then the other issue that some of us are working on are recruiting poll workers. One issue at a time. Then there are people, that's why I talk about the teams. You've been hearing me talking about the teams. The teams, there should be a team that's focused on police brutality. And y'all know we're in all 50 states. We're actually in several countries as well with News in Motion. This is a launch pad from Ready Publication, which is now Ready Media. So listen, there are people who are working on police brutality. Because of your state or your city, please put in this thread what you all are doing, because people are looking at not just the news, but the thread. If they live in your city or state, they want to know the information. So feel free to fill this thread up with your resources as well, so that people can see it. It's great to have it on your platform. Absolutely put it on your platform. But if you think about it, put it on this thread as well, because different people, we all have different followers and friends. Different people may see this thread and say, I didn't know this was happening. Let me share this with my base. We have to be resources, a resource link to other people. So please do that. So whatever your issue is. And then it's important to work in teams. I've been telling you all, we have to work in teams, because sometimes some of us will get tired. We have to have a handoff so that that person can rest a minute before they go back in. Start thinking about your team, okay? This is still part 4, the movements. If you want the first 3 parts, if you're just joining me, I broke it down in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and this is the final part today for Thursday. All right, number 2, you have to share with your neighbors as well as support your neighbors. So share with your neighbors. You know, don't be afraid to communicate. I think that's one of the challenges that we have. We're not communicating with each other. Everything is on social media. That's fine, but face-to-face dialogue is priceless, y'all. So do not be afraid to communicate with your neighbors. If there's a neighborhood gathering, go to it. Meet your neighbors more than those who are just on your streets. If there's a block party in your neighborhood, go to it. PTA, PTO, attend it. HOA meetings, town hall meetings, attend those, y'all. If nothing more, just meet the people who are around you and take notes. Go back to your base, to your team, and see what's going on. Good morning, Deborah. Number 3, heart for community. Okay, have a heart for your community, but also have wisdom for your community. Have a heart for your community, but also have wisdom for your community. What's the wisdom that you need? What does that look like for you? And then number 4, reaching individuals to reaching institutions. Okay, it starts with the individual relationship. Y'all, I'm just putting all this together. I know I may be overwhelming you with information, but I would rather overwhelm you with information than not give you enough information. That's where I'm at. That's how passionate I am about this. So reach individuals. Make a decision or make a determination who you want to talk with. Do you want to talk with teenagers? Do you want to talk with 18 to 21 or 23-year-olds? Do you want to talk with millennials? Do you want to talk with your own age group, your peer group? Who do you want to talk to reach that group of individuals? Do you want to talk with women and girls? Do you want to talk with boys and men? Whoever you want to speak with them. Start creating that dialogue so that you can have open and honest communication. You can build that relationship. So when you're reaching individuals, at some point you have to start reaching institutions. So even with News in Motion, I'm getting requests, can you come and do a Zoom with my church team? Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you are somebody saying, well, I have a team I would love for you to speak with, can you come and speak with them? Absolutely. Just let me know. Absolutely. We just have to do this. And then, again, I talked about this yesterday. I want to talk about it again. Y'all, we got to get from isolation to collaboration. You cannot be an island and do this. You can do some work individually by yourself, but at some point you have to come and be a part of collaborative effort. You cannot do this alone. There's no way none of us can do this alone. That's why I'm always feeding you other information. I'm sharing with you. If you have information, put it in the thread, just like Beverly Woodard put her YouTube about health. Y'all, we have to be healthy. We can't be drinking soda 24/7 with all that sugar and then eat a bunch of fried food and think we can continue this journey. No, we got to have a clear head, a clear mind, and that means we have to have some health issues going on, a healthy lifestyle going on as well. If not, it could create and can create health issues. You know, there's people now, I hear more and more people saying they have anxiety. I have more and more people saying that they're fearful. there's so much going on. We have to come from being isolated to being in a collaborative effort. You do. You do. Can you start something new? I guess you can. But at the same time, there's so many things already out there that you can tap into. And I think as people, as a gathering body, we have to be willing. We have to be willing to let people in. We have to be willing to. Do you want to vet them? Absolutely, you want to vet them. But at the same time, don't be so closed off that you're not having a conversation with people, because there's so much collaboration that's going on. There's so much that's going on, and we have to do it. I was seeing a flyer circulating, I think it was in Maryland, of all the to-dos and all the different dates. So if you see that, you may say, well, I'm not from Maryland. You may have friends in Maryland. So you want to grab that piece, you want to put it on your wall. It's okay to share it, and then put on there where you shared it from. It is okay to do that, y'all. We have to get the word out. We have to look beyond ourselves, and we have to look beyond our immediate circle, and we have to think, well, we don't know who's going to see this. We don't know who's going to see this in my Instagram story. We don't know who's going to see this in my Facebook story. Share it. Share it, because somebody may be looking for that information and they can't find it. Share the information. Share it, share it, share it. And then number 6, we want to go from civic vision to civic engagement. So you have a vision. So here's my vision. This is what I see. This is what I want to do. So now I need to turn from this and actually engage in this. Okay, y'all, we have to engage. Labor Day is Monday. Then we'll be under 60 days before the November 3rd election. Y'all, we have work to do. We have work to do. And here's what I was thinking when I saw about Dijon. Again, his name is Dijon, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. Fatally shot several times, the way I read that, from CNN, several times in Los Angeles, 29 years old. He was on a bicycle. I don't know why they were after him. There aren't any body cameras that I could read so far. He was fatally shot. Why is this happening? Why? Black man, 29. Why is this happening? I'm actually grieved this morning. I really am just grieved this morning. Why is this happening? So we can't see the vision of wanting to fix that. We got to become engaged. So in engagement, who's already doing this so that we can either send them financial resources, send them other resources, send them a team of people, let people we know in Los Angeles say, hey, if you're looking for something to get involved with, this is what's happening. Here's the person to contact. This is how you go at it. Y'all, we have to do that. But we also, hear me today, we also need prayer circles. We're not going to get through this without praying. We're not going to get through it without praying. We have to pray. We have to. We have to be watch people, watch women, watch men on the wall. We see something we got to pray about. We got to say something. That's a group within itself. So you may say, well, I can't get into the movement. I can't get into doing groups. I can't get into all that. But you can pray. So maybe your spot is just to pray. And guess what? That's probably the most powerful space anybody can be, is to pray. Because we need prayer warriors. I honestly believe that this is going to become worse before it gets better. Not trying to be doom and gloom, but I believe that's what's going to happen. But we need prayer warriors. We need people praying. I believe in praying community. If you just give me a moment, I'll get through this and I'll be done. I believe in praying community, which means if I'm praying for Pastor Alex, and Pastor Alex is praying for Latrice Jones, and Latrice Jones is praying for Beverly Woodard, and Beverly Woodard is praying for Brenda Randleman, and Brenda Randleman is praying for Kim Hill, and Kim Hill is praying for Deborah Johnson. That's praying community. And that's making sure everybody's back is covered. And not only one person praying for each person, but there could be a team of people praying for each other. We have to start praying. Yes, we can say, God bless everybody who's a part of a movement. That's one thing. But when we start calling their names, so don't be afraid to identify yourself and to identify what it is that you're doing so that we can collectively pray for you. We have to keep praying this prayer, this community of prayer. We have to. Yes, Kim Edmondson, prayer still works. Yeah, turn from this and engage in this. That's right. We have to engage. So let me give you some quick examples. Quick examples, we have voting, we have census. Yes, I say that the census are still going. Y'all don't wait. Do it soon. We don't have any idea when they're going to cut it off. Civic engagement, polling location. Those are 4 things. Those are 4 areas plus prayer. So 5 areas that we all have to be thinking about. Good morning, Michael Priestley. We all have to be thinking about going into the day after Labor Day. So voting, census, civic engagement, polling locations, and prayer. Those are 5 areas, y'all. These are 5 areas. So let's say that you are looking at your neighborhood. And let's say that within your neighborhood, there's education in underprivileged communities. So what do? How do you help? Build relationships is one way. Establish reading groups. You'd be amazed. So much stuff happens under our noses because we don't read. So let's establish some reading groups. Even if you're just reading through articles of reliable sources. Politico's reliable. Washington Post is reliable. Axios is reliable. There are some of those that are reliable. Join Elder Ruth Pugh's each morning at 6:30. That's a praying woman. I've been on those Facebook Lives. She prays. So yes, y'all check her out. So establish reading groups. Get people to read. Mentor someone. Mentor someone about voting. Mentor them. Give them the education they need about voting. Volunteer, y'all. Volunteer. We can't necessarily volunteer in the classroom right now, but volunteer. Volunteer within your neighborhood, whatever that looks like. Have a committee. Maybe you're just going to clean up the flower beds. Wear your mask and social distance. Donate books. Once you have books that you've read and you think this is an outstanding book, donate it. Tutor, you can do Zoom tutoring, and then small business development. Y'all, small businesses, there have been over 80,000 small businesses that have closed due to the coronavirus. 80,000. Over 80,000 small businesses. So how can you help that small business? How can you help that person? Because you know they're probably depressed and oppressed right now. What life-speaking word can you give to them in this season? What does that look like for you? All right, y'all, for the win, all of you for the win. Straight up want to say all of you. Why? Because you continue to tune in. You have been giving. You have been supporting. You have been sending me articles, resources, and so forth. So for the win, every last single one of you. So this is what we're going to do. We've been doing this for 12 weeks, so this is what we're going to do. Going into the weekend, there will not be a News in Motion tomorrow. Don't cry. There won't be. We're going into the Labor Day weekend. There will not be a News in Motion on Monday. So we have 4-day break. We have 4-day break from News in Motion. Yep, reading is important. There's so much out there. Reading enables you to be informed. Absolutely, Michael Priestley. Absolutely, Michael Priestley. Michael, we've been friends for 25, 30 years? Yeah, that's cool. I love that. He and his wife used to watch my children when we would go out of town. We lived in Oberlin, so we just formed this relationship ever since. Family, they're like my children. Yep, believe it or not. And he's an opera singer. He is off the chain, by the way. So anyway, there won't be any news Friday, don't be sad, or Monday. Of this week. Why? Because I'm going to practice some self-care and I'm going to come back out ready to hit the ground running, and I want all of us to do the same. There are 5 areas I want you to get involved in. If this is you, again, prayer, you may say, I just want to focus on prayer, pray for us. Voting, what are you going to do? What is your plan? What organization are you going to join? How are you going to partner? Is it When We All Vote? Is it I Will Vote? Is it Rock the Vote? Whatever it is, please write this down, y'all. Write this down. Is it going to be making sure that people have the census completed? What does that look like for you? How are you going to be engaged civically? And then polling locations. Are you either going to register to be a poll worker, or are you going to encourage other people to be a poll worker? What does that look like, y'all? We're going to stick with these 5. On Tuesday, the day after Labor Day, right here at 7:25, I'm going to give y'all nothing but resources. I'm going to give some news because it's news in motion. I'm going to give some news, but we're going to hit the ground running. And I know we're all over all 50 states. And we have people in other countries who are also helping us out, believe it or not, and rooting us on. I have people in Berlin who's helping us. I have people in Herrnhut, that's in Germany, who's helping us. I have people in Jerusalem. They're helping us. I have people in Shiloh. It's not called Shiloh. It's called Shiloh in Israel. They're helping us. I have people in Canada. They're helping. I have people in Zimbabwe, Bulawayo, Zimbabwe. They're helping us. So we have people helping us. So what do you need? So when I come on here Tuesday at 7:25, we're hitting the ground running. Who's in? Just let me know in the comment section. Say, I'm in. Again, we have 5 areas. We have 5 areas, and we have to get moving. Also, to let you know, when we come back next week on Tuesday, we will have news in motion, but next week we'll kick off the podcast. The podcast will be 1 day a week, and the podcast will give all the detailed information. I will have visitors, people from different organizations coming on the podcast, giving some information. That's right. I like seeing that. I'm in. Yes, yes, yes. So the podcast will kick off next week, and we're gonna just hit the ground running. We can't stop now, y'all. We cannot stop now. So it's rest up time. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Practice social distancing. Wash your hands. Use wisdom, okay, people? Wear your mask. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. I love all these. I'm in coming in here. Yes, 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 yes. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all so much. Thank you for joining me. Please share this video. Let people know, hey, we're getting ready to get to work. We're getting ready to get to work. I'm going to give nothing but resources on Tuesday. Resources. So come with your pen and paper, your iPad, your iPhone, your smartphone, your tablet, whatever it is. I'm giving you a list of resources. I'm letting these people know. They already know. Some of them have already contacted saying, I'm going to send you people. So be ready to receive them. So when I give you the resources, they already know you're coming. And then I'm still waiting for some more to respond. Okay, y'all? I'm excited about this. So I'm practicing self-care for the next 4 days. I want you to practice self-care for the next 4 days. I will see you right here Tuesday after Labor Day at 7:25. All right, y'all. I got to get over to IGTV. I am Gail Dudley with your news in motion until Tuesday at 7:25. Peace out.